Welcome to The Explainer. You'd think with all the incredible digital tools we have today, innovation would be a piece of cake, right? But it's not. It actually feels more like trying to navigate a minefield. Creating that next big thing is just so much more complicated than it looks. And today, we're going to dig into why.
And get this, the numbers here are, well, they're pretty brutal. Research shows that for every 7 new products that hit the market, only 1 actually makes it. Just 1. That's a staggering failure rate, isn't it? So it really makes you wonder, in this so-called age of digital transformation, why is getting innovation right still so darn hard? Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this, we've got to start with the classic economic idea. But this isn't some dusty old theory. It's actually been put on steroids here in the 21st century. It's really the key to understanding all the constant churn and change we see in the market. The economist Joseph Schumpeter called it creative destruction, and the name says it all. The idea is that innovation isn't just about politely adding new things to the world. Nope, it's more like a wrecking ball. It's a disruptive force that actively dismantles the old to make way for the new. And the digital age? It's basically strapped a rocket to that wrecking ball, putting the whole cycle on absolute hyperdrive for companies everywhere.
So what's the engine behind that rocket? You guessed it, AI, artificial intelligence. Let's zoom in on this one, because it is completely rewriting the rulebook for innovators.
You know, as Daniel Kazmaier from BASF says, the speed of AI is just staggering. It gets compared to the Industrial Revolution all the time, but there's a really key difference. See, back then, machines disrupted physical labor, our muscles. Today, AI is disrupting cognitive work, the very way we think and create.
But hang on, we need to be really precise here. The most powerful way to think about this isn't artificial intelligence replacing us, but augmented intelligence working with us. The difference is absolutely crucial. One is about replacement, the other is about collaboration.
And Professor Laurie Jarvaleto really drives this point home. The magic isn't in the AI by itself, it's in the partnership. The quality of what an AI puts out is completely dependent on the quality of what a human puts in. It's a co-pilot, not an autopilot. We're still flying the plane. So, if the human is the co-pilot, then human interaction becomes absolutely critical. Technology by itself doesn't guarantee a thing. An algorithm can't shake a hand and close a deal. And this brings us to a huge challenge on the human side of the equation. How do you actually convince someone to adopt a new idea?
Before anyone even thinks about buying an innovation, they first have to get it. There's a name for this process: knowledge adoption. It's that light bulb moment when a customer goes from just hearing facts to really understanding a product's value and what it means for them. It's a vital first step, and honestly, one that gets overlooked all the time.
Now, you'd probably assume that a super skilled, really capable salesperson would always be better at making this happen, right? The more skilled, the better. Well, some groundbreaking research shows a reality that's way more nuanced and, frankly, a lot more interesting. Researchers found what they call an inverted U-shaped effect. So on one side of the U, if you have too little selling skill, it's ineffective. The customer is just left confused. No big surprise there. But here's the twist. If you have too much capability, that also fails. The customer starts to feel pressured, like they're being manipulated, their suspicion kicks in, and they just instinctively shut down and reject the whole thing. So, the takeaway here is that there's a Goldilocks zone. Success isn't about having the most selling power. It's about finding that perfect, optimal level that builds trust and understanding without setting off the customer's persuasion alarm bells. It has to feel just right. And you know, this whole Goldilocks problem isn't just about sales. It's really a perfect metaphor for the entire innovation process. Getting it just right applies pretty much everywhere. So let's zoom back out and see how this balancing act plays out across the board.
Managing innovation today is a constant balancing act. I mean, it's not just about the tech, like making sure your AI is accurate and fair. It's also about the people, getting your own team to embrace change and avoiding that too much effect with your customers. And then it's about strategy, knowing when to go for a huge, radical change versus just making small improvements, all while trying to protect your big ideas. It's a lot. So, with all these challenges all tangled up together, what does the path forward even look like? Well, the focus is definitely shifting. It's becoming less and less about just having the flashiest new technology.
The future of innovation management is much more holistic. It means weaving in big priorities like sustainability and ethics right from the very beginning. It means building adaptable teams that can actually pivot when things change. But more than anything, it means doubling down on being human-centric. Because understanding customer psychology, just like in that Goldilocks zone, is the ultimate key to success.
So after all this talk about creative destruction, AI co-pilots, and the psychology of selling, we land on this ultimate question. The journey of innovation is always going to be fueled by new technology, for sure. But the real challenge, the one that determines who wins and who loses, it isn't just about solving a technical puzzle, it's about solving a human one.